All right, good morning, guys. We just have to work without the chat there, which isn't a big deal. It was kind of getting crowded on the screen anyway. So far today, we've got QNRX, which is looking pretty good here, right on that VWAP line, starting out now around 344, all the way to a high of 421. So we've got a decent range. We've got an okay range here on BIAF, going from about 650 to almost $8 there. I'm currently seeing below that 200 EMA. We have IMRA, which is also looking pretty decent. 123 to 175 on that 200 EMA. We've got CDU jumping up from 267 to a high there of $4.28. We have a good run up here. Currently bouncing off that VWAP line, we have INM, which I haven't seen a whole lot for. I haven't even charted it yet, and BIVI. Going from 350 here to a high of 480. So looking pretty good there. It is below that 200 EMA, which is a little bit concerning, but maybe we see this pick back up. But there's a couple others that I haven't really looked into. We'll take a look at some of those. Maybe SPRO. Nah. Well, maybe we'll take a look at the others once the market opens. We see stuff start to actually move. Might be our best bet here. So we got 15 seconds. We've got a couple things looking decent. We have BIAF here starting to move up pretty dramatically. We've got IMRA still sitting at that 200, so that's going to be something to watch. CD, we're going to watch for a run. Let's see what happens here. CDU down to the VWAP is probably a good thing for us. So we're going to go CDU. About 410, 440 with a $4 stop. I think it's $4 too tight. 401, yeah, we're probably going to want a 395. Ooh, 395. 395, not 295. Okay, so that is CDU. You can jump in here wherever, anywhere below that 410 mark. I'm gonna go ahead around $4. So gone around 402. So if we get around 402, we could probably move stop loss down a little bit. Down if you get in lower. All right, so I'm gonna put it about 390 because we definitely got lower than an extra 5 cents, but I think 390 should be fine. Got some levels up here to get rid of. QNRX, big volatility facing down currently. BIF not doing a whole lot. IMRA might bounce here. This looks like a pretty good opportunity, so I actually want to go IMRA as well. $1.45 if possible, because that's right at VWAP right now. Probably looking at $1.47. We're gonna go for $1.60 on it with $1.40. We can afford probably about 4 cents here, so $1.43. Now, hopefully you jumped on that one a little bit early because it looks like it's ran up quite a bit already. That would be kind of tragic if you missed it. So if you jumped in a little bit late, that's okay. It looks like it's moving up. I would start to take profits around here. Take some profits. Oops. And CDU's around $4 still. Profits. IMRA. $1.57. Oh, no wonder the tracker's not working. I have commas instead of dots. There we go. And 157. Okay, we're back down on that. CDU still holding around that VWAP line. Not looking too fantastic. We did move up to 424. Not a bad place to take some profits. We were aiming for about 440, but you know, we like to take profits all the way up. So anywhere around that 420 area is definitely a good place to take some. A BIF at $7. We have QNRX heading down now. We've got Bivy heading down as well. INM's not doing much, and we do have quite the move on SPRO here. Making its way up to that 200 EMA, although this is such a drastic jump, I'm not sure how much further it'll go, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. IMRA all the way down to that VWAP or 200 EMA here, 146. I think this is a good opportunity to take a whole nother play on IMRA. So I'm going to go ahead and do that at 146. We're going to go for 155 on this and then a 140. I'll give it a 142. So we're going to go ahead and open up a whole nother trade here with a 142 stop. I think I added like 3 lines there by accident. Maybe just 2. Yeah, just 2. Okay. All right, so 2 plays on that. We've got 1 play on CDU still holding. BIAF all over the place. We got IMRA down at 148 currently. Let's see. Spro, yeah, didn't go much higher. It looks like it's kind of morning. I have no idea if you should buy Apple before announcements. Oh my God, did I not stir my coffee again? You'd think I could manage the simple tasks in the morning, but sometimes it's those ones that elude me. All right, Spro looking okay. INM's not doing much. What do we got here? IMRA still struggling, not looking fantastic, but I do think that this 200 EMA is going to hold. Okay, that's not promising. Very close to stopping out on the runner. We'll come back to that. CDU stopping us out on the remainder as well. QNRX looking good here. Nice push. So we stopped down the runner with IMRA. That's the one we got up to 157 on. Now that was pretty bullish down here, so we're hoping that this doesn't actually push any further down. Although we do have our other line here right above the next support area, so that's a little bit of a danger zone. INM around $11 currently. Spro looking like it wants to keep pushing, so maybe we jump on Spro. So we're gonna go for a 135, 145 PT with a 130 stop. We need at least 130 as a stop. I know 5 cents is a little bit more than we would normally take, but we also changed the rules a little bit, right? We're allowed up to a 5% stop now, so not saying we'll always use a 5% stop because that's still really hard for me to do, but in some cases like this, we definitely don't want to be risking getting stopped out. So giving it a little bit extra is good. All right, so IMRA is back up, looking good there. Spro at 143. We're getting to a point where we can look at taking some profit. Take some profits. Spro 143-ish. ATXG. Let's take a look at ATXG. It did have a nice run there, 550 to 690, almost $7, and back down to that 580 area. I'd be curious to see what this does. IMRA up to that 150 currently, so looking good there. We are a couple cents in profit. We could take a little bit here at 150. I think I'm keen to do so. Take a little profit at 150 on IMRA. So we're just going to make sure we secure at least a little bit here. So if we run it into stop, it's not a huge deal. BIAF has got some major momentum here, so we're going to go ahead with no, we're going to hold on BIAF. I think we'd have to get it down to around VWAP, at least that $7, $7.15 area. So I don't think I want to jump on this quite yet. Spro down a little bit, 137 near entry. CDU continues to drop, QNRX down to the 200 EMA. This is going to be an interesting place for this because if it drops here, it'll turn bearish for sure. All right, so IMRA is looking good here, 151. Spro back to 140, hit 141 there. ATXG not really doing a whole lot. Looks like it may be halted down right now. CDU's dropping down to a support area, so we're going to watch that. And we want to see if QNRX holds here. So far, MACD looks like it's still negative, but we are seeing a little bit of push here. So we could try something here with a tight stop loss. My major problem with that is going to be we might take a stop out for almost no reason here, but I think it's worth the risk. QNRA, gonna go for about a 375 entry. Gonna go for at least $4 on it with a 3. Give it 365. I really don't think we need more than 10 cents room. Okay, so it looks like we made the right decision. It looks like it's already coming back up. Of course, that could change any second, but Hoping for the best here. IMRA 152 currently hit 154 to high there. If you didn't take profits at 150, you could take it at 154. Anywhere in that area is good. IMRA, we were looking to hit about 155, so we're just about that PT. SPRO looks like it's going to make another push here. CDU continues dropping. A little bit of a pushback on QNRA. We did hit 381, so we were about 6 cents in profit there. IMRA about 1 cent off from PT. Going to be making a new high here on SPRO, it looks like. Any second now. Oh, if we get rejected a couple more times here, there we go. There we go, 145. Come on, mix. That kind of worked. Good enough. You don't know how you filled at $4 flat on... Not on QNRA, right? CDU earlier. Oh, it's CDU. Well, maybe... Yeah, maybe it was a good thing. Doesn't sound like a bad thing. I filled at 402, so $4 is kind of beats me. 4 to 14, then it tanked. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of money right there. QNRX is looking okay. IMRA still struggling, but I think that 155 is right around the corner. SPRO hit 146 here. We took some profits at 143. You can secure a little bit more at 144, 145 if you want to. I believe that is actually PT. Yeah, so it's PT. PT on SPRO. Holding some more. I mean, like that MACD is starting to turn down, so you don't want to be holding too much here. I think that's definitely the major thing here. QNRX still looking good. We've got CDU here. Continues to drop, so we're hitting the next support line. We're going to watch that now. We have IMRA looking decent. SPRO definitely looking bearish with these two candles, so keep that in mind. We might look for a re-entry down below. So ATXG opened up down, looking like it's moving up, so we want to jump in on that. ATXG. 550, we're going to go for at least 620 at least, and then a 535 stop. So if you get in lower, obviously move your stop down lower, so that is ATXG. Okay, taking a little bit lower here, so what did we say, 535? We could probably go down to about 530 for a stop. I wouldn't go lower than 530 either way, even if you do get in like quite a bit lower than there. But if we drop lower than 530, we don't want it. 391 on QNRX. There we hit 395. Time to take some profits on QNRX. Definitely looking good there. ATXG took a nasty fall, almost a stop. So we're getting very close to the point where this is going to turn bearish anyway, but we're right at that area on the MACD where it should start turning around. So it's going to be a close one. INM's really not moving. SPRO still sticking around that 140 area. ATXG moving back up, bullish looking. Turning green even. We're at 550. Yeah, no, we're taking profits yet. 560. 563 or higher. Probably time to take some profits. Take some profits. ATXG 560-ish. So almost at 570 now, so we're going to take some profits there. Definitely secured more than 20 cents there, so we're going to take a little bit off the table. BIF down to $7 again. This looks like it's going to be a bullish stock. We did hit as high as 402 on QNRX. Oh, I typed in QNRA. I didn't even type in QNRX. Hopefully people are watching this what's it called, watch list earlier on and notice that it's QNRX and not QNRA. I'm sure QNRA is a stock, but Not what we were planning on playing there. But anyways, we were hoping for PT at $4 and we got it. QNRX. Don't know how I managed QNRA earlier and didn't even catch it. IMRA is hitting a high here. Yep. Yeah, you're correct there. We're at 163, so we definitely want to take some profits here as well. Take some profits. IMRA 165-ish. Although 163 is probably the proper area because we're hitting resistance, but honestly, that's a lot higher than I thought we were going to get with this. I think our PT was way down low, and I just honestly forgot about it. Yeah, 155 is what we were supposed to get. We were waiting for 155, and by the time I look back, it's past 160. So, like, we're happy there. We'll take some profits. We'll leave like a runner just in case it bounces off this VWAP and continues to go, but I'm not sure it will. Not without a decent pullback. 404 here on QNRX, so make sure you're securing some profits on the way up. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher on QNRX before we close out our position. SPRO looks like it's consolidating nicely. We are in a bullish position, although that MACD is pointed down right now. And if it does continue to drop, we could be hitting VWAP at the same time that MACD hits that zero threshold, which is not what we want. Again, very close to stopping out. I don't think it didn't stop me out, but it looks like it should have again. BIF big knife. Oh yeah. Yeah, look at that. ATXG not looking too great here, that's for sure. So, I mean, you were pretty close to break even right now. So if you didn't get stopped out on this last candle here, you might be wanting to take that cut. Again, it's still looking like it's going to turn around, so it might be worth holding, but as it stands right now, it's pretty risky. QNRX, $4. SPRO back up to 145. IMRA hasn't broken that high yet of 164, but it does look like it's holding some momentum here. We have a lot of sellers kicking up though. So I think it's going to come down to VWAP and we'll see if it holds here. A lot of buyers stepping up at this level here, 159. SPRO 147, so we're making new highs. $148 at 149. Hoping for like maybe 152 before we take some more out. Maybe just 150 because we took it 143. Yeah, I'm gonna say that we're gonna take some profits. Take some profits around 150 SPRO. Let's see here. CDU curl up, we could take a look. It's a possibility. It is due for a curl up. I think this is a risky position to be getting into, but it's not the worst. I think it's going to be slow though. Even though we have a decent amount of volume here. Yeah, we definitely have a decent amount of volume to play with. The problem is it's not really moving too fast. It's not a lot of conviction in either direction. MRA making new highs here, 168. Yes, we definitely stopped on the remainder of ATXG here. SPRO hitting that 149 area, so we're looking to take profits around there. 150 is preferable. Okay, we just got 150. Okay, so we're looking next one, maybe 150, I don't know, 155. If we can hit 155, maybe we take the rest out. IMRA all the way up to 169 here, so we could take a little bit more profit around there, 169, 170, and then we just got a little bit left after that, I think. Taking out like really tiny amounts at a time here. Take some more small profits, IMRA around 170. And then after that, we're basically playing with chop change, so. So the funny thing is we came so close to stopping out and we only got stopped out here by like a cent, right? So if we didn't get stopped out here, we would have been playing with like close to double the amount, which kind of sucks because we were very close to making some good money off that. I mean, we made decent money off it anyway. And by decent money, I think I made like $30. Spro not doing too bad here. I'm kind of glad that it's coming down because we were almost out of shares on this anyway. I would say that you probably have some or support here, 143, that we need to take into account. Yep, well, I mean, usually you're not going to want to sell ATXG or any stock after it drops. You want to sell before it drops. But yes, the red line is the stop line. So if it falls below the red line, you're supposed to say you're supposed to have your own stop loss there as well. You don't want to wait for it to cross this line and then think about selling. That's supposed to be the hard stop line. So Spro's coming down a little bit. We've got Bivy here not doing a whole lot. IMRA back up near the high. Man, this thing is just going to keep pushing, isn't it? I'm starting to get a little FOMO here because we're almost out of shares. QNRX took a nice bounce. Saw it down to 385. Back up a little bit now. We still have a little bit of QNRX. We should probably think about selling around that 405 area. BBBY. Let's take a look. You know what? ATXG looks like it could bounce here. BBBY. Down to $7. Weren't we like just playing this like a lot higher? Yeah, we were. It hit $30. The guy jumped off a building or something, right? What's it called? Not like pre-thought through. Like this wasn't in advance. The financial officer? Was it CFO or CEO? Their finances can't look that bad. The pump and dump. Ah, got it. Got it. IMRA hit 175 there. Hopefully he took some more cash out on IMRA around that point. Other than that, we're going to have to look for a re-entry on this now. I think that we're pretty well out of shares. Yeah, ATGX or ATXG did bounce, and I think that this is going to be a decent move. We are playing with something a lot lower in volume, so I'm going to stay out of it. I only want as much high probability plays as we can get. After the first 10 trades, I'll start calling things out there a little bit riskier because obviously then, it's people who have free money. But IMRA really fake. You didn't think it was going to do that? I didn't think it was going to do that either, if I'm being completely honest. I thought we were hitting that 154 top and it wasn't going to break through. But I guess that's just why you have to hold and, see what happens sometimes. Yeah, CDU still breaking down. BIAF still dropping. We can actually probably close BIAF at this point. Maybe look at it again later. Same with INM. Just clean up some charts here. BBBY could be a play. I really don't want to play this though. ATXG is looking okay here. Spro again looking pretty good. I think 140 would be a good place to get in. We want like maybe a 136 stop. So if we can afford 4 cents, yeah, we want 140. Spro 140. We're gonna go for probably at least 155 on it with a 136 stop. If you can get lower, even better. So 136 is going to be the stop on this trade. If you happen to get in higher, obviously move it up a little bit, but ideally you don't want to get in too high because if you get in too high, you can't have your stop below VWAP, which is the idea. So if you do happen to get in higher and you can't have that stop down there with the 4 cent rule, you're going to have to probably give it a little bit more room to try and get at least a little bit below that. That's probably your best bet because you're probably going to look at a stop out if you don't. Spro coming down a little bit here. IMRA still going. We need to find a spot where we can get a whole new entry on IMRA. I think it's going to be about 166. However, you know what? This is just laddering up really nicely, so we might be stuck at like 169 for an entry. Yeah, QNRX not doing anything. CDU still dropping. IMRA still going nuts. Spro down to that 140 area, so we're getting that entry we want. Might even get a little bit better. We're lucky here. No, I'm impatient. I'm going for 140. So the only thing that worries me right now is we're very close to that zero line on MACD, and we are also very close to this VWAP line. All right, so we're crossing at different times, which is good. It means we probably won't see a harsh drop. It doesn't mean it can't happen, but it's less likely. ATXG is still looking pretty decent here. It looks like it could be a decent play. I should have waited like two, maybe 5 seconds. I probably could have gotten that 139 entry, but it is what it is. I'm in Spro now. I was waiting to get a good position up until 140. I kind of knew it was going to go lower, and I just got impatient. So 140 was the entry. That's kind of what I wanted originally anyway, so it's okay, but I knew it was going to dip down a little bit more. I could have waited. IMRA has to come down a little bit more. I think it's going to come down to 163. We're breaking into a new high on QNRX here. We hit 413, so we can take a little bit more profit on QNRX. Okay. So we're hitting 418 there. We got resistance here at 419. I mean, we might see some resistance at 422. I think that's the highest resistance point we have for the day. CDU almost at that 200 EMA. So far, this has been a pretty good play considering we bought it down here right on this 200 EMA, right at 374, 375, something like that. And we've actually taken it all the way from the bottom to the top so far. It does look like Spro is going to go up, so that's definitely good. Dead cat bounce on BIF, I can take a look. Okay, so like basically what I would say is it looks to me like a dead cat bounce for no other reason than the volume is still really low, so there's low conviction in this. And the other thing you want to watch for to determine whether it's a dead cat bounce or reversal is you want to see that it breaks, if it can break the last like high, right? So if it can get past over here, so 655, if it breaks past 655, maybe 658, I would consider this maybe a reversal. Until then, I would consider it a dead cat bounce. So, I mean, realistically, you're going to be waiting for a fairly high entry. And then the other thing you have to keep in account is where that MACD is. If it's right next to that zero line, yeah, like you might be falling into a rejection zone, especially if the volume's so low. So to me, I think this is too close to getting rejected, but so I would stay out of it, but that doesn't mean it can't happen, right? It could just get a bunch of volume out of nowhere and push higher. But until it breaks that, I wouldn't even be considering getting in. QNRX hits a new high there, 434, and EPT. We played that the other day, didn't we? A little while ago, anyway. Yeah, we must have. I got a line. Yeah, looking good. Oh man. 240. I think it's too high right now. Not enough data to go off of to jump in on this, especially seeing as hmm. You know what? If it breaks 245, we might see like a long-term reversal on this. So that could be a decent opportunity. Yeah, Spro trying 146. That's honestly at the $1 range or $1.50 range, 6 cents is no laughing matter. We should be thinking about taking at least a little bit of profit here. Take some profits on Spro. 146-ish. Just to secure some, because you never know what's going to happen. But I gotta say today's looking a lot better than previous days, so Yeah, Spro has a good chance it's going to go. I want to secure some profits now. We'll hold and see what happens later. Curious to see if BIAF ends up. Yeah, it looks like a dead cat bounce. Couldn't break that high. And that MACD was just too close to the rejection zone there. IMRA finally back down, dropped down exactly to 163 where I said it was going to go. So that's where we're going to look for a re-entry. IMRA 163. We're going to go for 175 and then a 158. 158, 5 cents. Yeah, we'll go with that. And we can actually get rid of these lines now. So we're right at 163. Might get a slightly better entry here. If we do, I kind of want to keep that stop around the same zone anyway, because we are at a 5-cent stop on a $1.50 stock, which is not optimal. Okay. Looks like a nice bounce here, 168. Q1RX still going. We're at 442. We're running out of whoops. We're running out of shares here. Do we cash it out? I think I'm gonna cash it out. Counting the last of QNRX at 440-ish. Give it a second. Maybe you'll see higher profits. I'm not entirely sure, and I want to make sure we're cashing out at a good point here, because holy moly, man, we took that from 370. It's not like a huge gain. It's a fairly huge gain. Yeah, it's a huge gain. But I don't know. I think we could have gotten more out of it. I think that's the FOMO. The FOMO side of me saying that, but we'll see. IMRA with a nice bounce all the way up to 171. 171? Yeah, 171. Okay, so 171, we should probably definitely think about taking some profits. Take some profits on IMRA 171. Because we're definitely up a fair bit on this already. And I don't really want to leave it up to breaking into a, close to a new high before we even start to take profits. We want to make sure we're securing at least a little bit. Spro took a dump there, right past that VWAP line. Looks like it is bouncing back up. Nept, also good thing we didn't take a play here, because it looks like it got just a tiny bit higher and then decided to dump really hard. Back down to that 229 area. Took a low of 225 though. Is this worth jumping into? Man, that's a hard question to answer. I don't really know. Not yet. Probably not yet. Spro back up a little bit here, 143. IMRA not doing a whole lot. QNRX at 470. Sometimes you gotta listen to that FOMO. This would have been a good time to be listening to that FOMO. I'm a little salty. I'm pretty salty about it. After reflecting for a few seconds, I'm pretty salty. That was like an extra 30 cents. But it's okay. It happens. Spro looks like it's heading back up. Should have re-entered at 4-ish, yeah. Yeah, it took a little bit of a dip here to 409. That would have been a half decent price point for an entry. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about jumping back in on QNRX with another play when we were down here. But of course we didn't predict it was going to break out higher. I thought this was going to be range trading, and when we were in this little area here, you don't really want to be taking that as a range trade because you're right in the middle of the range. You're going to stop out if it heads down, right? So it wasn't a good opportunity to enter there. Then we had a massive jump up, so obviously not a good opportunity to enter up here either. We had a little bit of a consolidation. That's maybe a spot we could have jumped back in if we were crazy. But yeah, it didn't really give us a lot of openings right away. Spro all over the place still. Hey, there you go, man. Well, you should have FOMO'd. You should have FOMO'd. You shouldn't have FOMO'd. Don't listen to me. That FOMOing is bad. Like sometimes it can be a good thing, obviously. Obviously you can make money off it, but it's a bad habit of getting into because more often than not you won't. We're at 175, so we can take some money here on IMRA. I don't know what just happened there, but we just went like from PT to stop like immediately. So I should have taken everything out at 175, I guess, but I guess we're stopping out on the runner. Do we buy back in? Like this looks like it could be a pretty good recovery to me. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. IMRA 158, 175, and then a 154 stop. Well, I'll give it 150. Yeah, 154. We'll give it 4 cents. I mean, there's really not much sense. You could move it up to 155 if you want to. I don't know if it's going to hold here or not. That's IMRA. Yeah, I almost I don't know what to say about that. We literally just touched PT and then had such a harsh rejection. It just went blew past like all the support areas, right back down, just touched our stop. So hopefully if you were quick, you made out with the money. If you were someone who's struggling with the speed right now, you probably didn't, and that's got to be heartbreaking. Yeah, NEPT is barely moving now. BIAF. This is looking a little bit more like a reversal to me. We do have low volume, so I still wouldn't play it, but these bands are pretty tight now. Yeah, it was probably someone waiting to sell right at the high of day with a ton of shares here. What was that sell level at? It was 1.8 million shares. So like 2.5 million, maybe 3 million. Yeah, it was a $3 million dump right there. Yeah, that was one where you would need to be fast for it. Sea-Doo's curling. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, see, this one's the trap though, right? This is the one that I don't want to play because it's not really doing anything. Oh, QNRX. Just go. Okay, I'm jumping back in on QNRX. I don't care. Maybe I am. I'm starting to have doubts, but 470, at least $5, and then a four. I don't know, 450 stop loss. We'll give it 20 cents. Oh my god, it's all over the place. No, I'm staying out. I'm staying out. I don't want to risk it. I think we could find something else better to use our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it'd be our last play of the day. I'm not gonna take our last play of the day on QNRX. That's just FOMO right there. God damn it. It almost hit $5 there. Nope, not touching it. Not doing it. It's too late now. Should have made up my mind earlier. So IMRA did match or did go up to 161 there. It does look like it's touching our stop, so we're gonna take a stop out on that. Looks like it is going to continue its breakdown. It did look like it was going to recover there a little bit, but nope, no such luck. Spro back up quite a bit here, so we're just waiting on a breakout on Spro to start taking some more profits on it. BIAF not looking good. QNRX back down. Yeah, no, I'm not touching it. I'm just not touching it. It's not worth it. We got like 20 minutes here. We can sit and wait 20 minutes for a play. Can we add now? No. No, we can't. See, add is a scary word. To me, add means you didn't cut it when you should have cut it, and you're pulling a Ross Cameron. So if you're pulling a Ross Cameron, we don't like to average down. Averaging down is never a good thing. It's rarely a good thing. I can't say it's never a good thing. Obviously, there's the odd time where, it's a good thing. It's a bad habit to get into, kind of like FOMO, though. And it's back to $5. Of course it is. Actually broke $5. It's 5.10. You're in QNRX. You want to fail live? Yeah. Averaging down is a bad thing because if you start making a habit of it, every bad entry you take, instead of saying that was a bad entry, I'm getting out. Instead, you start buying more and putting more money into something that's not going to pay off, right? So like if I took an entry here in IMRA at $1.70, then it dropped down to $1.63. I'm like, instead of taking a cut, I decide to average into it. So now I've doubled the position. Then it drops down to 158, and instead of taking the cut there, I just average down again. I don't know if you know who Ross Cameron is, but his losses, like when he takes losses, they're like 40, 50, $60,000 losses because that's what he does. He'll keep averaging down until he just basically blows his account, and then he goes into trader rehab where he basically paper trades or whatever for a while. So unless you have $60,000 to continue to dump into your account over and over and over again, I would really not suggest averaging down. It's better to take your cut when you're supposed to take your cut and be like, okay, it was a bad trade. We're moving on. We'll find a new entry or a new stock and we'll try again. Yeah, you don't want to be adding to a bad trade. You want to be looking for better opportunities. Plus, then you're not really like you're not in a mind frame of learning, right? Then you're like, oh, it wasn't a bad entry. I'm just gonna average out, and then I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it that time, and then like instead of like thinking later, like, oh, I should be looking for better entries, you're just constantly in the state of like trying to catch up with your bad trades. So it's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down. So like with IMRA, we tried, it dumped, we got cut out here. So we'd be like, okay, well, we got cut. That's the end of that. So what's the next position we could look for on this? Well, maybe it's the 200 EMA bounce. Maybe it's going to come down to the 200 EMA. Either than that, it might be coming back up. And if it comes back up past 161, it's not a dead cat bounce. It could be a recovery, and maybe we jump in then. I think everybody's done that. Yeah, I think everybody's averaged down at some point or another. And in some cases it works. In some cases it's a tactical decision that you have to make to average down, but as a general rule, I do not average down because especially if you have like a gambler's mindset, you don't want to get in that rabbit hole. QNRX, I hate you so much. So much. What did we sell at on QNRX? I averaged at 437, so oh man, we're like at least 50 cents, 60 cents down. DIFW made a nice little move. Yeah, are you playing warrants? I don't think I've ever really even touched warrants. Exactly. You just stop out and buy back. Usually that's the best thing to do. Because there's usually a gap where you're like, hey, I don't want to be in that, right? Like if you decide to average down here, like if your stop was here, right? But instead you average down, you just took all this and lost and then put more on it down here, where if I cut here and then bought back down here, I'd be in a better position. Spro finally broke down. Yeah. To the 200 EMA though, which is a potential entry again. Could be looking at another potential entry. And it did see up to 147 there, so that wasn't bad. I don't think it's worth jumping into right yet, though. We want to see a little bit of recovery off that. IMRA is not doing anything. CDU's not really doing much. QNRX is still at $5 here. MACD's pointed down, so I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm trading with 100K, so I'm putting about 4K per position. Okay, so here's the other thing. If you go into a position with the mind frame that you're going to average down if it drops and you have a plan, that's different from it dropping and being like, I'm just going to average down. If you're going in with a plan to do that, that totally changes the perspective and the aspect and the psychology behind it. So if you take a smaller position at first because you're not sure if it's going to go up and you're leaving yourself the room where if it goes down, you can average into it, that's definitely different. Is it going because of the price rating? What's the price rating at? $20? Oh, it's never hitting $20. Although I said that about Carve and it started at like $4 and went up to like $50 or something. So what do I know? I'm still salty about it. You know what the worst thing is about not stirring your coffee? And it's not the bitterness of the coffee you're drinking at first, because I really don't mind that. And I used to drink my coffee just black. But the worst part is when you get to the bottom of the coffee and it's all just sweet. It's not even coffee anymore. You're just drinking like almond milk. Hot almond milk. Actually, it's not even almond milk. It's like almond cream because it's thick. It's meant for coffee. Okay, so we still have one more play we can take, but I'm not seeing much that I want to jump into right away. I think QNRX is going to be it, and I should have done it at 470. I should have a computer spoon. You know what? I kind of agree with that. I have a lot of things at my computer though, because I spend so much time here. Like behind my monitors, I have snacks in case I get hungry. I'm going to buy into QNRX. So QNRX, we're going to go for about a 470-ish entry. I don't know if we'll get that. We're going to go for 550 and then a 4, give it 450. So we're going to give it about 20 cents, which is a lot. Should keep us within the 5% rule. I don't know if I'll hold till 450, but I'm hoping that MACD starts to kind of pick up a little bit, or the VWAP starts to pick up a little bit, and we start to maybe have a little bit more support underneath this point. Like, it's going to start redlining around 470. So if we don't see it coming back up around 470, maybe just abort mission at that point. At least I got the ticker right this time. That's a start. Right now, I have something called Good Bites, which are... Hang on. What are these? They're dates, seed butter, seeds, cocoa, and chocolate. So they're just like little nuggets. They're pretty good. And fuzzy peaches, which are apparently healthier than some other candies somehow. They really don't taste healthy, which is definitely fine by me. Yeah. Well, I can't keep fruit behind the desk. That would be weird. I'm not sure what you could put behind there that isn't like carbs and sugar. I'd have to actually like get up and go to the fridge for that. Who wants to do that? Jerky. Yes, I used to have jerky, but that's usually easy come, easy go kind of stuff. BIAF might, yeah. So remember when I said back here that this is looking like the reversal here? This is definitely a reversal. I've got coffee and I've got water. I sometimes have like a can of sparkling water as well. But that's usually like past morning time. The only problem is I kind of want my coffee machine somewhere in here, but if I hook one more thing up, I feel like I'm going to blow the circuit. Because my computer is pulling like at least 1500 watts and I have a heater going. Sparkling water only? Yeah, I saw that. He's such a scammer, that guy. It's actually impressive. QNRX coming down at least to 480 here, so I mean, not a terrible entry. You definitely don't want to give it a 30-second or 30-cent stop there. Not 30-second. He is like the new age pyramid scheme. And it took people so long to figure out that it was a pyramid scheme. But it was impressive because his tactic is literally like to sell you a bunch of these shit courses that don't actually teach you anything. Sorry, pardon my language. Not supposed to be doing that, especially on YouTube. So, you know, he sells you a bunch of these courses that don't do anything, but it's not the courses that you're going to make money on. The money you make money on is by reselling his Hustler University or whatever, right? So you get 50% of the money that you bring in from people. And then one of his courses is to teach you how to sell his course, right? So he'll say, take clips of me saying really stupid stuff, put it on TikTok. It's controversial. It gets people talking. People are going to like it. People are going to hate it. Either way, people are interacting with it, and that pushes the algorithm, right? So that's why he always says these really stupid things. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. So then you can hire people under you to work for you to sell his course, and you get a percentage of those. So it is literally a pyramid scheme. But it took people so long to figure it out. This guy's got millions and millions of dollars now because of it. It was genius. Spro might come back here. Where's my buy set on QNRX? Right now it's a 470. It's not like a hard set though. It's just like a level I'm kind of waiting for. We're gonna see. Does it change something? Doesn't it mean if I get the stop loss, the trade is invalid? Okay, but if you're going in with a plan, then it's not a stop loss, right? If you're going with a plan of averaging down, it's not going to be a stop loss there. It's going to be your averaging down point. So it changes it in the sense that it's a plan, because like right now I could say I want to jump in it on QNRX at 470, but it might come down to VWAP. So maybe I'm only going to buy in with half a position at 470 and wait for the rest to come down at at VWAP. And if it doesn't come down to VWAP, well, congratulations, that means it's going up, so I made money. And if it is coming down to VWAP, well, then I just average down in my position, and it's a good thing. And then you put your stop below that. So it becomes a plan rather than just kind of gambling and crossing your fingers, right? We did hit 470, by the way, so I mean, not a bad place to jump in if you haven't yet. You stayed in IMRA, thankfully. There you go. He might not make as much, but the work that he puts in to make his money, it happened overnight, right? Mine took me like 8, 9 years to get good at. His took him a stroke of genius and a good piece of luck. Out at 162, nice. So like, see, now it's breaking above that high. So this would be a reversal point. Is it worth getting into? Volume is still sort of low. We have resistance here. We're going to have resistance at 168, and then we're going to have resistance at 172. So, I mean, you have to make up your mind on that. But how much, depending on how much you're planning on getting out on this trade, this could be worth it to jump in here. QNRX back to 480. We got NEPT not doing anything, so we can close that down. BIAF. Looks like it took a harsh rejection here. BBBY, not worth playing. ATXG, not really worth playing. Spro, I think Spro could be a good entry. Yeah, no worries, man. You sold it out of boredom. It was nice of you to take the fall on QNRX for us. Thankfully you stayed in. There you go. Okay, so we've got SHPH again. This ran yesterday, right? Like, pretty nuts. Yeah, it went from $12 to a high there in the aftermarket of 33. We're just hitting $30 here again. It could keep going. It's a little bit out of my price range, especially for my position size at like $250. Maybe we're at $300 now. So I'm not really too keen on jumping in on this, but it does look like it could be a good play. Makes your eyes bleed, yeah. We're right at that zero line too, right? So this is the be careful point. So we're gonna see what happens here. At this point, we took the perfect amount of plays for today. Like, I literally have only taken exactly 10 plays so far. I think Spro could be well, it looked like a decent entry up until about last candle. Other than that, IMRA might work out. Like I said, though, there's not a lot of profit margin here right now unless you're going to short it or maybe jump back in if it drops back down to 156, 157 area. QNRX, it looks like it's heading back up, so that's good news for us. Well, everyone except Jackal anyway. Small day so far, but you're still green. Did you know that Ross Cameron just made a video about 37 consecutive green days in a row, Necro? And the first person I thought of was you, because this guy's been day trading as long as me, and you almost beat him. Sea-Doo signs satellite launch agreement with SpaceX? That sounds pretty good to me. Nah, you basically you do it yourself. I'm just giving like some opinions on stuff. That's it. Buying it now wouldn't be weird. On what, Sea-Doo? QNRX. I don't think it would be weird. I think that, I mean, I would wait a minute. I think at this point it could definitely come down a little bit more, or not, or not. It just goes right back up to 480. Heavy consolidation, so this might be something we're stock holding for a little bit. Yeah, I was going to say VWAP would be a good entry, but it looks like we had like a very nice push up the second we started to break into any sort of new low here. So actually didn't even get to the point of breaking new low. This last candle over here still fits in it and looks like it's just heading up now. Bounced off that zero line. Stop loss for Spro. I mean, we're not in Spro because we already hit that stop loss. The stop loss was 136. If you're jumping in Spro now, it would depend on what your entry was. But with $1.36 or $1.30, you're probably looking at about a 4-cent stop. So if you're jumping in now at like 132 or 131, you'd probably want like a 127, maybe 126 stop max. Probably 127 though. 225. It always eludes me. Did I type that in wrong? EIAFW. No? Weird. It always eludes me as to why warrants are always different. Spro reentry, like right now, I would say I don't like taking things that are really below this 200 EMA line. I think that it's kind of bearish, but if you're waiting for the reversal, I don't really see this going much lower, and if it does, it would be time to cut. So you could potentially take an entry here at like 130 or 131, maybe even 132. And then you're just basically hoping it doesn't break to a new low, and if it does, I'd be out. Yeah, we're 490 right now on QNRX. What do we get in at? 470. We can take 20 cents profit. I'm going to take a little bit of profit here. Some profit on QNRX. Oh, I guess I have to specify the price. 490. What do I think about entry now? I would be waiting. Yeah, especially with it breaking down further right now, I would say that this looks like it could just continue its dump. I would say, like, if you're looking for a re-entry on Spro, you'd probably be looking to maybe see if it dumps down to about 123, and if it does, maybe then try going long and see if it doesn't break down past 121. But yeah, besides that, this looks like more of a breakdown to me. It's a good short opportunity. IMRA is probably something that's more likely to make you money, but I wouldn't be buying back in unless you hit that 157 support again. QNRX looks like it's going to go again, so I'm probably going to be holding this past live because, well, we want to make sure we're maximizing our profits here. So Bivy not doing anything, so we're not going to look at that. Spro's not doing much. VIAF could definitely come up here. If it breaks through this 200 EMA, you could see a major run back up to about 770. And Shapa here, not really doing anything, so that's well halted, but BIF with a nasty drop there. This is pretty close to a good place to get it to at 629 because you can't really go much lower, like 615. And if you broke 615, obviously you would want out, but all in good time. QNRX back down now. At least we secured a little bit there. We didn't even really look at new tickers, but there's a couple that you could check out after live here. BPTS might be good. CMPX could be decent. Okay, well, that's really just it. Just those two. We could probably even look at those now. BPTS. Yeah, I mean, I would say this looks like it's bottoming out. That could be another potential longer day trade. And then what was the other one that I was looking at? I think it just disappeared off the tracker there. CMPX or something. Oh, that was not looking good. If it hit 470 again, I would say it's worth a chance. I think this is consolidating. If it got a high buy price of $20, I think that there's a good chance this could continue moving up, maybe $6, $7, $8 even. I wouldn't really hold for too long though. I would think that basically your bet would be to get into 470 with a 450 stop, and if it breaks 450, I would just let it go. But yeah, I think there's an okay opportunity here that you could make some money if you really wanted to. So let's go over the money board quickly. $188 today, so by far the best day so far, which is nice. We made 3.5% on the portfolio. So we're averaging 2% a day, which is definitely good. 9 wins, 1 loss, which is also good. That brings us to a 75% win-loss average, which is exactly where we want to be. That brings our total up to 50, almost 5,600. So not that bad. We're almost a weekend, made $600, so it'll grow a little bit faster once we start hitting higher numbers here. As far as the trade summary goes, we made 74% today, which is the highest of the month so far. Today did feel a little bit better. It's still a little slow, but we got some half-decent wins. We got IMRA for almost 20% there, and Q1RX for all just over 15, so not too bad. And then this was, I think this was pretty much a straight loss. That might have been, maybe that wasn't a straight loss. Maybe that was the one where we averaged out a little bit, and then we just took the stop on the rest when it came down. I think that's probably what happened. But in any case, yeah, we're doing okay. We're getting there, chugging along slowly. Still holding some Q&RX. We'll see what happens with that, but everything else is closed up as of now. So yeah, enjoy your day, everybody. Hopefully you made some money, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Last month, did I actually make 750,000? No, I didn't make 750,000. I made 5.3 million or something. Yeah, CD going down. Anyways, guys. Yeah, pocket change. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day.